hello everyone, yeah, they're on the live stream. There we are. Let me just check actually first. It is public, it is brilliant. Hi, the complex thing. Hi. Hi and welcome. Hi and welcome everyone to yet another live stream. And today I have some things to finish up. Is what I got, so we're gonna finish them up quickly and simply. It's gonna be a bit of a relaxing kind of stream. There we go. What time is it for you? I don't know. It's night, something like that. There we go. And right here, this. Very good. So, this is obviously part of the video on the Brass and Kids linear algebra from the more physics point of view. I'm almost done with it. There's only 1 minute remaining, but to be fair, that minute's going to be quite rough. So, could be worse. Fortunately, the more important thing right now actually is a script for another video, which is the Taylor series video. Because I've only got a page and a half and there is so much more needed. What? Wait, what? Why did I just turn into a skeleton for a second? Well, you know what? Make It streams have certain quirks to them. I will not question the way that streams are streaming. It's ancient technology. Still functions, that's what matters. Even though it functions, I don't know what you think. How are you doing? In that case, we can do all of these points as d5, d4, d3, d2, and finally d1, d1, d0. Now, all of these points are just equal to the derivatives of our function evaluated 0. Understand that, because now the question becomes, what can we do with these points? So the basic idea is that we're treating the derivatives, or rather we're treating the highest order derivative we get to as a function. Getting ready to start the college semester, also looking at and applying for internships. That's neat. What kinds of internships exactly? I mean, I can have a pretty solid guesstimate of what kind you're looking for, but anything more in depth? Okay, sure. Okay. Splendid. Absolutely splendid. All right. I'm sorry I'm so quiet, but I was just thinking for a second and my brain was rebuffering. So, right here when it comes to the Taylor expansions, the way I'm going to imagine it is, I'm not going to do integrate circuits or something to do with radio frequencies or just anything to do with semiconductor stuff. That is kind of what I was expecting, yeah. Reasonable. Oops, that was my phone. Very reasonable. We're gonna have d5, d. Right now, let's just do d3. D3, d2, d1, d0, like this. Those would be our points. Now, what we can do is we can take a d3. We can assume that the third order derivative of x is equal to just a constant. Not a great estimate, not a great guess, but bear with me. If we do that, then all we need to do is just integrate this derivative, and then f second of x is equal to d2. Hi, Tefta. I'm playing around with some mesh tastic devices. They're pretty cool, especially if World War III happens. That's not a great sentiment. Mesh tastic devices. Oh, that is absolute. Oh my goodness! By the name, I would have. That makes sense. Yes. That is actually quite upwards of 100 kilometers. 330. That is mental. Goodness gracious me. That is mental. 300 kilometers of range of just off-grid, your own hardware. That's actually quite tempting. I see the appeal. I very much see the appeal. But in case World War III happens, it's quite a sentiment. I'll just also take doing research for either a company or my university, any of my professors. That's also very reasonable. Which is always the most fun bit of these sorts of things. Well, at least in my personal opinion. But to be fair, I am extremely biased. Hi there, Andy. Hi. This is going to be a bit tricky, to say the least, because. Well, why is it going to be certainly a bit tricky? Well, that's going to be because you see. Because I don't see. No, wait, I have an idea. Yeah. Okay. So basically, in the video, how many videos have you started? I started 4. But I finished 1 and about to finish 2. And I have just solid 3 days to finish the other 2. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. I'm just doing. I need help, alright? I don't mean like. It's like, no, I mean with work is what I need. Is anyone here interested in becoming an animator or an editor? Would anyone be interested? What do you need help with? I help. I need someone. I need someone to be my animator. Unfortunately. Tefta, how many jobs will you have by then? If I had a nickel for every single non-profit you've joined in, then we'd have to add another nickel this time. Give me some pretty files, I'll animate some for you. No, but seriously, seriously. I will be looking for someone to hire as an animator into the foundation. Simply because I'm just but one man. I can't make all that many videos. This is basically my limit. My limit is in a month, 4 videos. Fingers crossed that's actually gonna be 4. With the backgrounds you can use, and I'll definitely help temporarily. I mean, the backgrounds, unfortunately, well, it's this kind of work. That's the pickle. And this one's just time consuming. There are some creative things, like for example, oh, this is actually pretty fun. This right here, because I'm actually. I'll hire someone to find for you. No. I'm gonna find well, my biggest issue is finding someone. That's my biggest problem. Because hiring, well, that's ideally. I hope that the foundation manages to sustain itself, and then I would really like the foundation to hire them. That would be golden. I'll go headhunting next month. Or this month, actually. We shall see. I still first need the 9th of January, and then we shall see. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, right. This thing, for example, I think this is quite neat. It's not bad. This is meant to be my visualizer for n-dimensional matrix multiplication. And based on this, I'm going to show you the animation. I can't do it in Blender right now because it will absolutely crash my machine. I have managed to make a 60 by 60 matrix multiplication. There we go. This is great visually or graphically designed. Thank you. That actually does mean a lot coming from you, considering how you've always basically were the person that I used for graphics, because I myself am terrible with graphics, and you're the best person I know graphics wise. Was I? Oh, you're right. My phone was buzzing. That was distracting me. I'm really pleased with the way I'm actually explaining matrix multiplication in this video. If someone had explained matrix multiplication like this to me, I would have had a much easier time understanding it. Alrighty then. You all keyframe, you all come here. Splendid. The main problem is that I was too slow this month. That's the issue. Right now I have 3 days, and in those 3 days I need to script the entirety of the Taylor video, animate the entirety of the Taylor video, which I'm planning on doing today, and then I'll still have to make the time evolution operator video. From scratch, I genuinely don't know that's possible. Unless I plan it really well. Also going to be leading a workshop on transmission lines. First doing some simulation and then actually making them by having my CNC machine fabricate the PCBs. At least have the idea for the second part. Oh, that's neat. I made crap a video the other day. Hold on, let me see. This I imagine. I should rip it off on stream. That's not be watching. Oh, I really like how. Oh, you actually have put a lot of care into this. Just right within the first 5 seconds of just actually record, because this. It might be a bit like the only reason why this stood out to me is because I have. If you show my stuff, I don't do it for view but awareness. That's fair. But still, I don't know. It felt yucky. I instinctively moved it to the other screen. It felt off in my bones. But this is actually the only reason why this jumped out at me right away at the very beginning is because I have been trying to show the LEDs I've been using in a similar kind of detail. And let me tell you, to anyone here who doesn't deal with a video on a daily basis, you have no idea how specific of a camera setup you need in order to capture these pins. They are tiny. They are absolutely tiny. So the fact that you switch from just talking about, so right away, 5 seconds in, and already you're talking about something, and then right away showing the thing you're talking about, while at the same time, that required a completely different setup, which is, I know it may not seem like a lot, but it shows care, and I like that. I do like that. Because I know it's how annoying it is. Oh, jeez. 6 hours filming for 1.5 minutes, yeah. I do have to say, it shows. In my personal opinion, it shows. Choose one, what is that? By the way, Unholy Thinkable, I would say, I think you would enjoy what Tefta does for a living. On a living, I suppose, more accurate. Hold on. Oh, beautiful. I'm not subscribed on this account. I like this a lot. It said, I am not a fan of shorts normally, but that's because I think that the well has been poisoned, and content like that, like what you've made right now, is just covered up by a bunch of nonsense. Because if shorts were just like what you have made, I would be watching shorts. That is absolutely brilliant. I'm looking at it mostly from the perspective of a YouTuber because, well, that's the thing I am, I spend most of my time doing. Unfortunately, I'm trying to change that. But, so that's why the main thing that caught my eye is how much genuine, how much care has been put into making it actually look good and flow nicely. But so I'm confused watching a short about something and then not talking about that thing at all. Just talking about the short itself. Oh geez, what am I doing? Because I need something rendering in the back. Oh yeah, I've rendered this. Right. Wait, no, I did this. Damn it, I got distracted. I did this wrong. All of these should be facing down. No, wait, they shouldn't. Hold on. Would this angle suffice? Well, I'll try to make it work. Pun very much, and then you're welcome. But yeah, I was building a necessary technical antenna of communication with a group. Lots of stuff to go on. Hopefully I can do everything and have the time for it. I hope so too, because you are doing a lot of fun stuff. And once again, I genuinely do believe, Unholy Thinkable, you would enjoy what Tefta is doing. So the colors and lighting are awesome. Yeah, I did nerd out a bit over this video. The problem is that I've made a mess of colors. I've kind of overdone it. Because... Where's the Unholy Thinkable we're chatting at? It's on this chat. You may need to switch to live chat if you don't see them. Because YouTube for some reason always starts in top chat for... I don't know why. It always starts in top chat, just hiding from people. Now time to shut down my brain for a bit. Okay. So, image. This would be the image of our state. Then, if I create some geometry nodes, if I create another grid, if I join them together and transform, are you going to completely demolish the mapping? You're not. That's good. That's a good sign. Because I really appreciate that, in fact. Okay. Because in that case, we can have white. Oh, well, I guess white would be easiest to turn into G white. There we go. And the only difference between G white and white will be that right here, and we're going to give it some transmission. Simply because then we can store named attribute like this, like this, like this, like this. We need 4 of them. No, 3. Yes, and then e-color, brightness, alpha, white texture, beautiful. Then color white, brightness 2. It's crazy we can do geometry nodes in Blender. Yeah, there are a lot of options. It's really, it's genuinely really nice tool to have. I'm so glad they've added them to Blender. I think you could do more with scripts. That is also an option. But for some reason, the Python isn't integrated into Blender. Well, okay, I'm saying for some reason. I know what is the reason. Geometry nodes can function like shader nodes, so they can interface with the graphics card better, so it can be faster. Looks like magic. The animations look nice, but it's quite far away removed from magic. The thing is, it is genuinely just an order of magnitude easier than Python. It can do the same things as well. If you want a loop, you can just have a loop. If you want a loop that, well, if you want to, it is a bit of a pickle because the loop condition here is like a static number of iterations, so normally you need to crack it up like crazy and then just ignore all the other iterations of the loop. But there's also simulation, in which case you can just use it the same way but then skip. What am I doing? Right, Voronoi texture. We need this into brightness and math subtract from 1 alpha and increase scale. And then also, because I'm an idiot, so don't increase scale, increase this, 98, yes. There we go. This will be our filter. Now the important question is, does it actually filter? It does work. Okay, good. So it is translucent. That is important because what we will want is we'll want to create like a point that actually no, we don't want it to be bright. What am I doing? Yes, this is more of what we want. We want to like filter it out. I also forgot that I will also do the research I said I might do, or at least help someone with it. That's good. Glad to hear that, really glad to hear that. Because for a second I was worried that you were just switching off from that. Hold on. Oh, I know. We can just do it like, we can multiply them two together. Like this. Texture code. Oh, damn it. Not quite. Position. I am really putting my brain cells to work here. This is it's dumb. It's really dumb because I could just as easily do it with just manually. What I'm doing is so utterly unnecessary. Temp position into the Voronoi texture. Then we take that position, we do vector math, distance from 0. That will give us the distance, but we don't want the distance, we want to divide 1 by the distance, then we want to plug it right here. There we go. This we also would like to be normalized, and then store named attribute. And into this grid, we store the named attribute of position as temp position. Yes! We have liftoff. The reason why it's important that we do it this way is because then, if we take a cone, like so, join geometry right here. We take a cone and we store position just as well. However, when it comes to the cone, yeah, it's all completely transparent right now, which makes sense. We take a vector and pop it like this. Now as we move the cone, it sometimes appears, sometimes it doesn't. That is what we want, yes. 180 and move a fair bit higher up. Hold on. Oh, the Z matters. No, we don't want the Z. Vector map. Well, if we don't want the Z, we can just transform it twice. Yeah, the first one can take care of positioning, and the second can take care of... There we go. So this vector right here will be our brow, so our position basis. That will be picking out the position out of the state. Yes, and then the problem is that we don't actually want the filter. I still have coffee, Rebel Monster, and alcohol to get me through it. Mostly the alcohol. I will say, considering my, albeit limited, interactions with physicists, the filter isn't working. I just realized it did just hit me. Right. Oh, it's because I'm an idiot. 1 in this case means flip it around. Yes, there we go. That's what we want. We want 1 to be a mask, not the opposite. There we go. Yes. Yes, yes, and yes. Mix. There we go. This will be our mask. So this mask, this filter, and the nice thing is, it is actually a filter, which means we can just move it away. The problem is that it does in fact... Oh, goodness gracious me. It should be vector math right here. Subtract the vector like this. There, so this is our filter, and then just to finish it up, we can just do color instead of the color. There we go. So the idea here is simple. I hope it's understandable. I'm trying to explain how. I've already spent way too much time with this. I need to render this up a little bit. Okay. So right away we would have U. Clear keyframes, our image. The pickle being that the background is very much not helping, so let me just delete that real quick. Nope. This one. Yes. This is going to be tricky because actually the better, oh, I'm an idiot, a much better way. Never mind, I'm not an idiot quite yet. Okay, it's It could be worse, it could be worse, it could be worse. I'm not an idiot, I'm not a complete idiot quite yet. I keep questioning my choices in this matter. All that matters. I keep questioning them because I keep running into problems. I know that I may just sound mental right now considering how I keep just saying things out loud with no context whatsoever, but I promise there is a chain of logic behind it. That chain may not be great, it may struggle from time to time, but it exists. Switch. But then let's also test out the cone, because the cone is over there. So what we want from the cone, we don't want the cone to just... we don't want the cone to just be transparent. But I mean, no. Transparency we want to happen right here. Hi there, Theo! Theo, what are you doing awake at 5 in the morning? Did you have a really good night or a really bad night? Because usually when people are awake at 5 in the morning, these are the only two options. Or actually, if you're trying to sleep, then you know what, I'll stop the questions. Nighty night. Have a good one. And what we'll do is, we will image texture like this. And in this case, it's going to be the state image. And the reason why it matters that it's going to be a state image is because this right here is going to have an icosphere on top. Like this. And also we should probably there we go. And then my voice instinctively went like more silent and tame, just because I know that someone is trying to fall asleep while I'm working. We take this position, this will be the position on the image, and if I am not mistaken, and I hope I'm not, if we take out this color, plug it in, then if we move it to the left, right here it should... Oh damn it, it's always something. Can I not just use a vector for this? Also, the image on its own doesn't appear to be working. Well, that's a great sign. That's confusing. That is really quite confusing. That's because you see, as far as I'm aware, this should work. That's a problem, because then what we would probably need to do is we would need to create another texture based on white. This time it's going to be image white. And then we need to go into the image white and right here do image. That image being the state from before, and then this plugged into the color. But once again it isn't working. Well, that's brilliant. Is it because the brightness? No, the brightness is set to 1, so that is correct. What appears to be the problem? Is it the fact that it's not unwrapped? Because that shouldn't matter. Vector mouth like this. Oh, this is bad. This is really quite a pickle. This works. Oh, goodness gracious me. This works, but I don't think it's going to... I don't think it's going to work quite in the way that I wanted to. So, 10th position. Still yellow, that is correct. Okay. Do you actually change? Yes! Wait, why did only one of them change color? It's because we're getting generated. Okay, this is progress. The thing is, that's not quite what I want though. I don't want it to be based on the generated. Because generated takes, basically what this right here does is generates a vector for each point on the sphere. Or even goes between the points, which is not what we want. We would much rather have it be as the position. Can I do this? No, that's not gonna work. That's a problem. UV will be pointless, or as I previously said, it will be pointless. Why will you not work with just a vector? Wait, did I see that right? No, I didn't. Dagnabbit. Okay. So this isn't working, which is a pretty big issue, because my entire plan relied on it working. Hi there, Randy. How you doing? My entire plan did rely on this working, in fact. And unless I specifically do get it to work, we're going to have quite a bad time. What other image tools are there? There are none. What one right here? Image, there's image info. But that's not gonna do it. Single image, that is correct. I could just do it the dumb way and just... Actually, object. No, object doesn't give me a consistent value for all of them. And that is a problem. Temposition doesn't even exist on the sphere as well. Which means that we are ideally looking for something that... Hold on. I think this might not be quite as bad if we just do this. Let me see. Now it is go. Oh, jeez. That's my washing machine. It's in the other room. That room is closed. That is one aggressive. That is the one aggressive rotor. Okay. So the pickle we're having is... This should be... No. This should be a 0. Right. Then, as we're increasing this, right now we would like it to draw. Oh, is it because should be adding this? That could be it. Still, it's a little bit incorrect. And once again, I would like to get the evaluated color, and then what are you trying to do? Have the pointer light up when it goes to the edge? I would like the color of the sphere to be the same thing as what this is pointing at. So I have the position of the sphere as a vector, and I thought that if I just take an image texture, if I plug in the image into this texture, then I can just sample the image like this. I genuinely thought it would be that simple. But it doesn't appear to be, because if it was that simple, then I could just do this. That's a pickle. well, that's a problem. That's a pretty big issue. That's really bad, actually. Don't you have a reported image at its current scale? If I did, then if I put this right in the middle, it would be pure white. The main issue I'm having is that you can see that only certain vertices get the right color, which means that Blender is trying to be clever and is trying to like UV wrap the image automatically. I just really don't want it to. I want to sample a specific. Actually, I can just look it up. Blender sample specific pixel of an image. Well, not that one. I mean, select pixel color. That's a Blender 5.0. My goodness, I'm still using 4.4. You can hear how loud it is, right? That's not just me. That's problematic. I don't think my washing machine should be making those noises. It's in the other room, for goodness sake. Select specific pixel. Okay, because right now it's focusing too much on the color part. I wanted to select specific pixel out of an image. There is the Python API, which I suppose I could try. Image. Oh, that, yeah, no. I'm gonna create negative energy and create a wormhole. Do I know if it's the secret talk to them? With Python, I don't care about doing it with Python, I care about doing it with nodes. I could also do it with nodes, but... Wait a second. Second option. Okay. Well then that should really work. What am I doing wrong? I don't understand. I don't understand what I'm doing wrong. I mean, this is semi-working right now, but if we move it to the side, then it vanishes. Part of it vanishes. Which is so very incorrect. That is so very incorrect. Also, we also only want this to go to the filter. This should not happen. Or should it? Yeah, no, it shouldn't, because we want the entire thing to be constant. Right here, oh no, wait, this. Now it's pitch black. Okay. Vector on its own. Wait, did it do something? I'm not crazy, am I? It is doing something. Wait. My goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah, now we can also vector map right here. Divide by 2. Texture coordinates. Texture coordinates start at 0, 0 and go to 1, 1, which means the midpoint is actually 0.5, 0.5. And the only reason why I know about this is because around 3 years ago I was working with Vulkan. If I didn't, then I would have spent a lot more time trying to deal with this. Yes, yes, oh yes. Okay, this is brilliant, because now what we can do is... Oh, this is phenomenal. Genuinely, it's hard to describe just how annoying this was. Because now the job is done. We can just put an alpha right here. Index switch on this as well, for now. Turn it off. And then render an image. Okay, so there we go. Let me just save this. We're really actually close to finishing this now, which is good. That's good. Uh-oh. I misclicked Windows D. We're back, it's fine. Then what we would like right here is object info, two of them. And that's because first things first, we're going to take an empty and use it to guide our pixel. Like this. Hi, the Sauce Barker. Hi, how you doing? There we go, and there we go. And now it's all broken. Oh yeah, because I didn't actually plug in the empty. If this wasn't a uniform image, and it would have been more complicated, it would have looked so much better. That's a lot of nodes. Oh, that isn't nearly a lot of nodes. This is something. This is more nodes. And even better, when you look inside, there's just more nodes. But this isn't. See, this isn't a lot of nodes at all. Why did I take two of them? I wanted the second one for something. Oh yeah, right. I wanted this object to just be plugged into the geometry, but then we want to swap it around like so. I hate how you have to pay to read the news at times. I mean, you know, it makes sense, right? In order to make those news, someone had to do some work to actually get the news. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do... I'm really pleased with this so far. Right, let me see. Let me see how it's gonna look. Because we really want to show off that we're sampling a point. I didn't test it with a filter, to be fair. However, if everything... it's a big if, but hear me out. If everything is working correctly, then there shouldn't be really a difference between us doing this with a filter or doing this without the filter. That's me putting a lot of faith in myself, that is true, but at the same time, I am incredible, so, you know. Believe in yourself. Yeah, that should be close enough. We don't quite need this many frames, this should be sufficient. Yeah, alright. And there we go. My goodness, we're genuinely 2 animations away. Because the next animation will be... Well, I suppose we want... That depends if we want to slide in the filter or if we want to just... No, I think we would like to slide in the filter. In that case, 2 animations away. Plus this one. So 3. I should be better at mathematics considering I'm making a linear algebra video. So, let me get a glass of something. My favorite beverage. Something. And I'm not even drinking out of the glass, I'm drinking out of a cup. It doesn't look like anything was cut from the video. Yeah, obviously, why would it look like that, unholy thing? Nothing was cut from this video. Why would it look like something was cut from this video? No idea what you could be possibly referring to. Shucks, I forgot about the Taylor video. Right. Let's start with d5. So what we're going to be doing right here is we're going to have these points, and we're just going to assume that that the third derivative is d3. Okay? In that case, based on that, we would like to make a guess about what the second derivative would be. So we would say f2 is equal to, we know that the second order derivative is just an integral of the third order derivative. That's what we know. So, we had a guess about the third order derivative, that it's just d3. In that case, what would be the derivative of d3? Well, that would be f2 is equal to d3x plus c. Now the question stands, what is c? Well, thankfully, we do have the answer for what f2 is equal to evaluated at 0, and that is d2. So what we can do is we can just plug in 0, and we get f20 is equal to d2 is equal to d3 times 0 plus c. Now this is d3 times 0, which means we get d2 is equal to c. Simple. Which means our full equation is f2x is equal to d3x plus d2. Ta-da! The 300 BPM metronome. Hold on, give me a second. Shush! Did that help? Is it more bearable now? I'm washing in the washing machine. But first, start with the fifth order derivative. What is derivative? Once again, all we know is that it's some function that crosses our d5 point. So there we go. Neat. Absolutely neat. There we are. And so then, what we would like is we would like to add in the filter. 300s. And in order to add the filter, we shall first of all turn on the filter. Then we'd like it to go to... well that's a problem. You wouldn't believe it, but there actually appears to be a problem with what we've made. Why is there a problem? You worked so beautifully. What is your issue now? Temp position. Yeah, right here, position. Subtract that. That is why? Just why? No. What is happening? It all should be working. No. 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 Why? Oh, damn it, why are there always problems? Okay. So this is what the filter looks like right now. No, that's not what we want at all. Let's plug in the alpha. Oh, it's because it's translucent. We should just set it to be normal white. Yes. Because it was translucent and white, right. Now if we set it to be 0, there we go, it actually filters. I'll bring it back in 30 minutes. No, it's actually back. Okay, that makes sense. G white now, and that still looks fine. Okay, brilliant. So we can do this. We can do this. And then, just for the sake of shiggles, as kids these days would say, let's do join geometry. This is problematic, but only slightly. It's fine. Like this. Or actually, we should do vector math. I suppose that'll be cleaner. Object info. I suppose I could just put it in the corner. Would still convey the point. There we go. I think analogy-wise it's fine. One thing stopped cluttering, now another is. My fridge is cluttering. Would you all mind if I punch my fridge full force? I'm asking because it might get loud. And it is really early in the morning or really late at night. And once again, I've picked up this, low tone of voice because I don't want to wake anyone up. And if I'm gonna punch my fridge full force, it might chatter a bit. Would you all mind? I'm gonna be brutally honest with you all. It's not even to shut up the fridge, I just want to punch something. No as in I shouldn't do it, or no as in you wouldn't mind? Okay. My knuckles are still rough from yesterday's stream. You wake up a guy listening to your stream trying to sleep. Yeah, that's precisely why I picked up this low tone of voice, and I wouldn't mind. Okay, let's hope that Theo has already left the stream and is already asleep. It worked! Wow! It stopped chattering! I don't know if the microphone was picking that one up, but it did stop. That's good to know! That's been driving me mad for days. It was just randomly chattering at times. If I knew that all I had to do was punch it 3 times, I would have done it already! Oh, the blissful silence. Yes. How good to know. Okay then, brilliant. Well, let's get back to the Taylor series video. Just make a guess about that function. Just have to threaten / abuse technology sometimes. I don't think threaten is the right word, because threaten would be if I said I'm gonna punch it. I just punched it. Remember, kids, violence is always the answer. Ah, jeez. In the past 2 days, I've been punching a board of wood, a printer, and a fridge, and my knuckles are just... they're taking a beating, pun intended. You're very welcome. It's almost as if there is a consequence. You see, oh geez, I thought that violence was always the answer, but it looks like there are consequences to your actions, and in the end, if I perpetuate violence, I suffer the worst consequences of it from oh my goodness, isn't that a great moral to the story? Kids, you can solve your problems with violence, but you will create worse problems for yourself that cannot be solved this time with violence, and then you will be worse off than when you started. Oh boy, aren't I just a great educator? The tale of Naked and his fridge. Okay, brilliant. Printer's always the thing that seems to have a problem every single minute. I don't know, I got that... I mean, that printer I have received because the person who had it wanted to throw it away, and I just collect electric trash. So, I use it... I kid you not, I use it as my punching printer. So basically, there are certain times in life, we all have that, where you just want to punch something, okay? You know, you just want to punch. You're having a stressful day. You're having a stressful day. You need to get back to work. You don't have the time to go out and vent those feelings in a reasonable way. All you have is a printer. But then you punch the printer. It's my punching printer. Honestly, what's funny is that my punching printer sits on the top of my knife box, which... that's not a joke, by the way, genuinely. My punching printer is on the top of the knife box. So that's kind of like my... That's what I do. And it helps. And then I get back to work, I start the stream, and it's just fine. Life goes on. And then, you know, that's how you start a charity. If you want to start a charity yourself, you need to get yourself a punching printer. Because if you don't get a punching printer, then you won't do it. Anyway, right here, the reason why we wanted all this the way we did is because right now we can do a mask. Like so. And then into this mask we can plug in this. And the reason why the mask was important is because right here we would get another attribute that this time will be the mask. And then we would... actually, we could do it with brightness. I did not consider that. I did not consider the fact that I could just do it with brightness. Does it work? Oh my goodness, it works wonders. Oh, that is genuinely one of the best analogies I have ever gone and bloody done. Quick question to everyone here. Do you understand the analogy? Or have I not even mentioned what the analogy is to the point where you have no idea what you're looking at? Because in that case, allow me to explain. These right here are respectively known as covectors, or in physics they're called a bra. Then this is an operator, dot, and then this one is a ket. The entire idea there is a bracket, and you write it in brackets. Funny, physicists are hilarious. Now, in this case, this is a genuine physical equation, okay? This right here is a Hamiltonian's operator, which, if you recall from past videos, Hamiltonian's operator gives you the energy. Hamiltonian operator applied on a state gives you the energy eigenvalue, to be more exact, but we don't have to get into that. Does bra operate on a ket? Well, bra is a covector. Ket is, you can think of bra as a covector, ket as a vector, operators as matrices. So in this case, it would look somewhat like this: A, B, C. Then we have a matrix, which will be O, 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 you know, a whole bunch of O's. And then 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2. There we go. And then finally We're gonna explain. Sorry, mom. No problem, Baka. It's fine. And then we have x, y, z. There we go. So these are equivalent. The only difference is that these ones are infinite dimensional. It gets complicated. Now, these are equivalent, and so the whole point here is that what do we get at the end? Well, here's how you can think about it. You can think of the cat right here as just an image. So this would be the image of a particle, right? That's kind of what state represents. It represents the information about our particle, so an image. Simple as it could be. Then this operator h right here is kind of like a filter that we layer on top of that image. So this operator filters out that information, right? It just filters out some specific information. In this case, the h refers to energy, so it's filtering out the information about energy. The image had all the information, the filtered image has only the information about energy. And then finally, the bra. At the very beginning, the x, and that one is like an action. And that action here is just us picking a single point on this image. So what do we get in the end? Well, we get of a single pixel of information that we have filtered to be only information about energy. So we get a single pixel of the energy information, or we just get the energy information at a specific point. Like right here, for example, or right here, or right here, or right here. And if you understand this, then congratulations, because this is basically one step removed from the Schrodinger's equation. This right here is basically the Schrodinger's equation. Hold on, let me show you what I mean. So the operator has zeros to make the stuff you don't want zeros. Actually, yes. Yeah, that is how you can think about it. I don't want to say yes definitely, because infinite dimensional Hilbert spaces are complicated and I don't want Ash to yell at me, but you've got the exact right idea. Yes. This right here, this right side of the Schrodinger's equation is just this. X and alpha is just the wave function, and this right here is the h hat. As you can see, wait. That's a bit wacky. This is for momentum, but once again, same exact idea, and so on and so forth. Ta-da! Beautiful. Splendid, beautiful, splendid, lovely, fantastic, phenomenal. All of the above. Anyway, actually, let me just make a little bit of a... Alpha is the properties of the particles. Wait, can you explain the brown kid again? Alpha is the information about the particle. All the information, all of it. So the position, the momentum, the everything. Everything that there is to know about the particle. That's the alpha, right? In this case, the reason why our bra on the very beginning is an X, it's because this is the position basis bra. So in this case, we're talking about it in terms of position. If this was a P, then we would be talking about it in terms of momentum. But this basis is there because we are selecting a specific part of it. So this would basically translate to something like, what is the... Hold on. Let me just... Oh, not it again. I'm glad you took a screenshot on the frame when there was nothing. There. So in this case, that would be kind of like us saying, hold on, because my Windows is really struggling, kind of like us saying, what is the energy at a certain position of our particle? That is the idea though. So alpha has all the data of the stuff. X is the attribute you want, and the operator filters it. Yes, exactly. So in this case, if we replace H with a P, then instead of energy, we'd be talking about momentum. If we replace H with, I don't know what other operator, time evolution operator, then if we replace H with U, then instead of energy, we'd be talking about the same state but in the future. If instead of X, we switched it from an X to be a P, then instead of the position basis, so instead of talking about the certain point in space, we'd be talking about the momentum basis. So we'd be talking about the specific point in momentum. They are equivalent in mechanics in a way because of Fourier transforms, story for another time. And then alpha, which is just the information about our particle. This is the position basis brass I ever make it. Bra. I do prefer to say covector because bra makes me just makes me disgusted. Saying bra is not a pleasant experience for me. And actually, hold on, because I didn't actually do it. Yeah. What I wanted to do is, I wanted to take a single image of the, where is it? There we go. How large? I just banged my elbow. Wow. Let's do, 8 by 8 should be fine. Because once again, we need to do a teaser. I'm gonna be recycling the animations because I don't honestly know why I scripted it the way I did. I know you can't hear it, but just trust me. At least you didn't hit the funny nerve. Is the funny nerve the one that makes your entire body feel like it's taking a screenshot? Is that the funny nerve? Taking a screenshot. If you've ever hit that nerve, you know what I mean. There's no other way to describe it. Yeah, exactly. Randy gets it. It's funny because it's on the humor. We're done. My goodness, we are actually done. No way! That is unbelievable. I thought I would die before this day, honestly. Brackets, export. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to send this video over to my maths and physics lad. My maths and physics lad and the other maths and physics lad. I've given in and become evil and I'm learning C++. Not the evil maxing, no. Hold on. It's left until the 9th January, and here I have screenshot from the video teaser. Give quite unrelated. There we go. Let me really quickly see if the brackets video looks correct. It does. I watch my videos really swiftly, you know. Now I'm going to save it, upload it like so, and for now just send it over to my there we go. Okay. Whew. I can't believe it's done. That feels wild. I can finally turn it all off until I'll have to turn it back on because, well, straight basing it on this operator. No. I love building libraries from source. It is horrid, isn't it? It is absolutely horrible. No, there was a new message on the Hopecore memes channel, but it's just Nimitz saying that 2025 was a good year for movies. I was hoping for a Hopecore meme. I hate building libraries from source. It is horrid, it's horrible. It compiled, what good for you, that's brilliant. Because I know just how annoying it can be when it doesn't, and you have to spend 3 years troubleshooting the problem only to figure out it's because you haven't linked a Win32 library when building. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm an oasis of peace. Okay. You know what, everyone? We did do the thing. I didn't write the thing. There's someone else's code. I know what libraries are. Anyway, I'm gonna go. And there'll be another stream in a bit. Because, you know, we have to hit that number. And for now, that'll be it. Thank you everyone so much for watching and have a great day. Bye.